Let's talk about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which I'm sure is going to be a hot topic over the next 2 weeks because, well, there's a lot to talk about with this movie. One of the biggest things to talk about is the fact that it's rising to the top. No, not the top of the box office. The top of the list for Hollywood disasters, because that's what this movie is. It is a disaster. It is going to lose a lot of money for Disney. It is going to lose a lot of money for Disney. Probably like $200 million. That's how bad this movie is. I tried to watch it. I'm about 50 minutes into this movie. It's so bad. It's a bad movie. I don't get why Phoebe Waller-Bridge is being sought out by everybody in Hollywood. She is unbearable in this movie. She's unlikable. No charisma at all. She's very arrogant and annoying, and I just don't like her. But she is the hero of the movie, and she's the one that's going to carry on the franchise. Your new Indiana Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Well, if Kathleen Kennedy stays and gets her way, she'll definitely get a movie. Maybe. This is going to be such a disaster, they might decide to just put this franchise in a safe and lock it away, which I wish they would have done in the first place. We never should have gotten this movie. There was never a need for this movie. But Phoebe Waller-Bridge out there making sure that there's just no possible way you can like her. She's out in an interview saying that one of the best things about this movie is when she got to punch Indiana Jones in the face because it was so glorious. She's so much better. Well, she didn't say she's so much better, but I'm sure in her mind she is. So she's out there saying it's so great. That's what people want to hear when it comes to this movie in marketing, is how you beat the shit out of the main character, an 80-year-old man. It's so glorious. Oh, yeah, I get to raise up my feminine powers and punch that stupid old man. By the way, like right at the beginning of this movie, this is how you know this movie is shit. Like right at the beginning, there's a train fight where it's younger Indy. That seems actually okay. And then it jumps to the future, and Indiana Jones is literally this old man in a chair watching TV, sleeping in front of the TV. His younger neighbors play music real loud, so he gets up and yells at them. Literally the old man yelling at someone to get off their yard. That's exactly what I've always wanted to see Indiana Jones do. But let's check in with this box office, because this is a joke. It's from Giant Freaking Robot. Why Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny's box office is in trouble. To sum up this entire article, it's in trouble because of the fact that this is one of the most expensive movies ever made, and it's already got a worse box office opening than The Flash. And we all know how The Flash is doing. That movie is already getting pulled from theaters and put on digital. They're already taking it out. Isn't it funny that they're quick to take that one out of theaters, but not Little Mermaid? Because Little Mermaid didn't do very good either. It did good domestically, but internationally, no one watched that movie. Which should tell you a lot about America. They always want to call America the racist nation, but yet Little Mermaid did great domestically. Huh. Isn't that interesting? But this is where we're at. Worse than The Flash, Fast X, and Transformers Rise of the Beast. Now, Fast X has a difference in that it's like making bank internationally. Like, this movie's made money because of the international market, which everyone predicted it would do anyway, because these movies are juggernauts at the box office worldwide. So a new report claims that Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was unable to best The Flash in the most recent Fast and Furious, Fast X and Thursday box office grosses. The Hollywood Reporter's Pamela McClintock reports Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny only brought in $7.2 million in Thursday previews, which is less than Fast X, which grossed $7.5 million in its Thursday night previews earlier this week. The film also failed to best The Flash, which had a Thursday preview night of $9.7 million, according to Deadline. Thursday night previews can be a good indicator of how well a film will do in its opening weekend, but it's not the end-all, be-all predictor. Case in point is that The Flash might have best Fast X in preview night for Thursday night previews, but it did not beat the film in its opening weekend. The Flash grossed $55 million in its opening weekend, while Fast X clocked in with $67 million. That's still a disaster, though, $67 million. So it looks like those predictions might be right. That's probably where it's going to land, $67 million, and that's really bad because next weekend it's going to have a drop-off. Right off a cliff. How much you want to bet that Phoebe Waller-Bridge is the reason that people don't want to see this movie? I want to see this movie. I keep hearing she was good in some movie called Fleabag. Is she still a walking corpse in that movie, too? Because in this movie, she's unbearable to not only look at, but to listen to. So, I'm not sure I care if Fleabag is a good movie, to be honest, because she's so damn unbearable. Very unbearable. So, heading into the weekend, Box Office Pro predicted the film would have an opening domestic around 60 to 77 million. An anonymous Hollywood studio executive informed the Hollywood Reporter that the film that he expects the film to make upwards of 60 million as well. The source said, "We're sensitive right now and hyper vigilant. With that being said, if Indiana Jones does less than 50 million, I think we have a problem. I have it in the 50 million plus range." Yeah, I don't think it'll make less than 50 million. I don't think so. I think this is Gary's video where he's mad. I saw it. I would totally feel him in this. This movie sucks. It's so bad. It's so bad. What did he say? Here's what he said. Heartfelt F this movie, but there's some good news. I think this is the last thing that Lucasfilm could ruin, and I think it ends the inexplicable 15 minutes of fame of Phoebe Waller-Bridge, but the failure is complete. George Lucas's legacy, Lucasfilm, has been destroyed partially by a bunch of mediocre white women. It's very well said, to be honest, and it's totally true. Lucasfilm has been destroyed by a bunch of talentless white women. Came in there and just wanted to make everything some kind of prop for feminism, and it's just failed spectacularly. And what's even more hilarious is Disney just lets it keep rolling. They just let it keep rolling. They're like, we're fine with this. Whatever. We only spent like $22 billion on all this shit, but let's go ahead and just ride it into the ground. Anyway, that's pretty much it. This film's a disaster. I knew it would be. There's just no way this is going to do good. Kids don't give a shit about this character. This franchise is 42 years old, and it just took Lucasfilm one movie to turn it into garbage and ruin the legacy of it. I would say Crystal Skull did that, but nobody talks about that movie anymore. Easily ignored. But, kids have no interest in this. Like I said before in yesterday's video, Crystal Skull made no cultural impact. So nobody from, no 20-year-old kid from today fondly looks back to those childhood memories of Crystal Skull. They didn't watch this shit, and they probably didn't watch the original trilogy either. That's why making this movie, you essentially needed to make it for hardcore Indiana Jones fans, and you screwed that up. You made it for feminists on Twitter, and then they don't go watch this shit. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. What are your thoughts on the box office and the legacy that this movie is going to leave? Let me know what you think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.